Welcome in, Chiefs Kingdom, to Cheifs Latest, your one-stop spot for everything Kansas City Chiefs in 15 minutes or less. It is your host, Calvin Silvers. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Finally made it to the middle of the week, and we have a gift. That's right, for this week one of the regular season. We don't have to wait till Sunday to see our beloved Chiefs take the field. Nope. They said, I don't care that, Friday nights is usually reserved for the high school scene. We're taking over. And we're taking over in Brazil, and we're going against our AFC West foes, the Los Angeles Chargers. I am excited. Of course, I'm going to have a breakdown of what I want to see from the team on Friday as we inch closer to the game, but there's a lot that we need to dive into with this episode. But before we do, doesn't matter what platform you're listening on, if you could just take a second and please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications because we have daily, that's right, daily videos here at Cheifs Latest Monday through Friday. And you just heard my whole spiel and how excited I was that the season is starting Friday. So you're not going to want to miss any of the news, rumors, or actions regarding this team. So please hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications as it not only helps me in the channel, but it's going to help you stay up to date with everything Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I get it. The Chiefs are probably going to want to get through week one, maybe even week two, kind of see what pieces are working, seeing what they have, maybe even call a player or two up from the practice squad. I don't know. That's just my guess. But that doesn't mean that we can't recognize that the secondary is screaming for some veteran stability, especially at the safety position. And you cut Mike Edwards and now you're stashing him on the practice squad. That's leaving some back end issues to a defense that has been able to really carry this team the past two seasons. But that's all right because there are still some big names out there that are veterans. One of those names would be Jaylen Mills, who was recently cut by Houston. He could be a budget-friendly fix, has that Super Bowl pedigree, he has that multi-role experience, cornerback and safety, but it's really his age and his health that's going to raise questions and really spark the question of how much does he have left in the gas tank for a defense that is so demanding. If you look at his season last year with the Jets, 44 tackles, 6 pass breakups, 1 interception in 9 games. Again, health is an issue with him. But if you look at his entire career, 95 starts, 449 tackles, 8 interceptions, and 59 pass breakups. How does he fit with this team? Well, he has the ability to roam in zone drops. He can play box safety, or he can even slide out to slot corner. As I mentioned, he has both that stability and versatility at safety and cornerback. Spags loves a veteran chess piece. Who wouldn't? At 31, though, he isn't the athletic dynamite athlete that he once was, but it's really his football IQ, his high energy, his leadership, mentorship, being able to bring in someone like Hicks and Cook under your wing. I think that is enough to give him a look. But again, he didn't last with the Texans very long, very short. So does that suggest fit in health concerns with him? I would think so because I think he's still, as I mentioned, a very smart player, has a lot of versatility on the defensive side. I don't know why you wouldn't want to pick him up. He offers you a 2-for-1 corner safety skill set, and he's a veteran, and he's low cost. Again, I don't mind if the Chiefs look this way, but Beach must weigh his age, must weigh his recent team hopping, but he does have that playmaking, and he does have that championship grit. And the nice thing is that the Chiefs could just straight up swap him for Edwards on the practice squad if they believe that he's more valuable or about the same. I don't hate that either. It's nice, easy, don't really have to do too much, just a nice, simple swap. But another option, maybe not as simple as the one we just went over, but it's still an option, is Marcus Epps, who was recently cut by the Patriots. And again, he had a reunion with the Eagles. He is currently on their practice squad, but he also could be a budget-friendly veteran to deepen the Chiefs' safety room. But health is a concern for him too. 2024 ACL tear, that raises some questions about his recovery and his range now. But just like the counterpart we just talked about, he has Super Bowl experience. He has that downhill hitting. That makes him a fit for the Chiefs, especially at free safety. But here's where the problem lies. Signing him requires a cut of your 53-man roster and guaranteed payment for at least 3 weeks. So that right there in itself might make Brett Beach, turn away from this deal. But during the Eagles Super Bowl 57 run, which he was a part of, He had a great season. 96 tackles, 6 passes defended. Those were career highs. In 2023, his last full season, 66 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 3 passes deflected. When you want to look at how he would fit within the Chiefs roster, he has a knack for deep third coverage, open field tackling. It's all a nice addition. He's offering a reliable backstop for Hicks and Cook. His post-ACL mobility and coverage, so that is going to be the question. Because already his coverage is limited. So now you're coming off this ACL, injury. What is your mobility going to be like? What is your coverage skills going to be like that were already limited? Is that going to restrict you to the box? That is something that you're going to have to figure out. But the roster gymnastics of trying to find a guy to cut, then having to pay this guy for 3 weeks guaranteed, that just adds complexity to the whole thing. So Epps' proven tackling, Super Bowl pedigree, knows what it takes to get there. Just like his counterpart, makes him a tempting low-cost addition to the Chiefs' thin safety group. But his injury history, the roster logistics, I think that could push Beach away, and I think he would go more the Jaylen Mills route than he would the Marcus Epps route. But even so, adding in this position is always hard because, as we know, as it's been said time and time again, that Spags is a very hard defense to grasp, that it's not easy to get this defense off the bat. So are the Chiefs going to bring in a guy, a week before, not even a week before a game now, a couple days before a game? Are they going to do that a couple games before week 2? I'm not sure. It would be hard to just throw a guy in, but these are veterans. These are guys with multi-role experiences. These are guys that just want to go out there and hit. I don't think it'd be as big of a problem as you might think it is. But then again, I just don't really see the Chiefs going down that route right now. But another rumor that is popping up is that the Chiefs need another veteran wide receiver. I get it. The roster is filled with wide receivers right now, it seems like. This is the deepest wide receiver room I'd say that Patrick Mahomes has had. But yes, Rice is going to be suspended for 6 games. Jalen Royals right now is sidelined with injuries. You had even preseason injuries that were hitting this wide receiver room. So there is some things there that could make you nervous, that make me nervous. And we've had to rely on people like Tyquan Thornton and Jason Brownlee. Now, don't get me wrong. They've had great camps, but again, they're more unproven in the league. I'm glad that they've been able to show something, and I believe that Thornton will be more important to this offense than Brownlee is. But that doesn't mean that Brett Beach won't consider a veteran like Robert Woods, who was just cut from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the good thing about Woods is that he's kind of like a Juju Smith-Schuster. Elite run blocking, reliable hands. Yeah, it mirrors Juju Smith-Schuster's game. But his age, and I keep saying this with all these guys because these are your budget-friendly guys right now. He's 33. And his insistence on an active roster for a lot of playing time, that is where the questions rise about this fit with him. Do we have enough spots for him to get some playing time, especially when we already have a role like that filled by Juju Smith-Schuster? I think it's better just to, lean on Thornton and Brownlee and kind of go with those quote-unquote struggles that you might see early, but I think they're reliable enough. If you look at Woods' last season, though, 20 catches, 203 yards, 37% snap share in 15 games. He's had a great career, though. 683 catches, 8,233 yards, 38 touchdowns, 514 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, and 171 games. And his run blocking, as I mentioned, is elite. 288 run block wins the past 5 years. That is second among qualified wide receivers in the league. His perimeter blocking aligns with Reed's love for receivers who can just go out there and put someone to the ground, can go out there and let the running back get outside. We know Reed loves that. This is going to complement Smith-Schuster's similar skill set, especially when they go in 11 personnel sets. So that run blocking, that veteran edge, it does make him, again, a tempting addition to the Chiefs' younger wide receiver core, but I don't think you need him. I think you rock with the young guys, you rock with Thornton, you rock with Brownlee, and see what they can do. And again, I think Thornton is going to have a big role in this offense. I think he can be a deep threat, and I think him and Mahomes have a little connection right now, and I'm hoping we can see that here in this week 1 game. Well, speaking of the week 1 game, I have some facts that I found interesting that I wanted to share. I'll probably do this leading up to the game, so expect this in tomorrow's episode. I say that, and then watch it won't be there, but I'm going to, try to find as many interesting facts as I can. So I pulled 2 that I thought were pretty interesting right off the bat, because as the Chiefs gear up for Brazil against the Chargers on Friday, as we know, their international track record it's up in the air. And not only that, Mahomes, his recent dominance over the AFC West, I think that should have fans excited and confident going into this week 1 game. This is a rare divisional opener, the first since 2018 for the Chiefs. And with Mahomes' history of shredding Herbert and the Chargers, I'll get to that record here in a second, Kansas City could be on track to make NFL history. They could tie the Vikings' perfect international mark. The Vikings are 4-0. The Chiefs have a chance to go 4-0 in international games. Right now, their international record obviously stands at 3-0, London in 2015, Mexico in 2019, and Frankfurt in 2023, including a 24-17 win over the Chargers in that international game in 2019. Again, Mahomes versus AFC West since 2018, 35-5 record, 87.5% win rate. That's the best since the 1970 merger. He also has the most passing yards, touchdowns, and 25-yard passes in the division. Facing Herbert, Mahomes is 7-1 head-to-head. Perfect 5-0 against the division last season when he was playing. This just suggests that Kansas City offense, even without Rice, could be on a hot track if people stay healthy. So, 2 fun facts there. The Chiefs' perfect international mark on the table here. Can they tie the Vikings for a perfect international mark? And just Patrick Mahomes' dominance, not only against the Chargers, but just against the AFC West in general. I'm excited for this game. I think we should be confident. I'm not going to reveal too much. As I said, I'll break this down more probably on Friday's episode, but just wanted to share some fun facts, and probably will do that leading up to the game on Friday. Well, that's all that I have for you on this lovely Wednesday. As I mentioned, I am your host, Calvin Silvers. You are listening to Cheifs Latest. Let me know in the comments if you think the Chiefs need to add anyone before, week 1 and week 2, or if we should ride out these first couple weeks, see what happens, and then start looking for, potential trade or pickup or whatever it may be. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Once again, this is Cheifs Latest. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, have a good one.